All right, welcome to another Art Brunch edition. We are starting a new topic today, something very relevant for what we're all sort of having to adapt to, AI and human creativity. Now, this is one of the most fascinating and rapidly evolving conversations of our time, the intricate relationship between artificial intelligence and human creativity. We've all been hearing about the existential threat that AI poses to humanity, the most immediate threat being to our capacity for employment. But for centuries, though, if you think about it, creativity has been considered a uniquely human trait, a spark of genius that sets us apart. This has been our great hope that we, and only we, can create using our imaginations. And somehow this ability is going to keep our unique contributions in demand in the marketplace. However, as AI advances, it challenges that hope, not just by mimicking creative acts, but by actively participating in the act of creativity. So today we're going to explore how AI is transforming the creative landscape as a powerful tool, as a surprising collaborator, and even provocatively as a creator in its own right, independent creator. We'll explore these ideas through examples from the contemporary world of art, showing how these concepts are playing out in tangible, even breathtaking ways. Now let's first consider how AI is impacting other fields, such as science. I got this graph off of Peter Diamandis' podcast called Moonshots. Peter Diamandis has long been an innovator and investor in all of the latest technologies. According to this graph, by 2033, just 8 years from now, experts in these scientific fields will not be able to outperform AI, or at least that's how it's predicted. Take a moment and look at all these scientific fields that are going to be outsourced to AI most likely in the years to come. And then this quote appeared on the same podcast. Superintelligence may happen this year or by the end of next year, according to Musk. So we are on the brink of developing what is known as ASI, artificial superintelligence, which is a step beyond AGI, which is what we are developing now, artificial general intelligence. AGI will soon be overtaken by ASI, according to Musk. Now, AGI is when computer applications can reach the zenith of human potential. In other words, the smartest people in every field will be matched by AGI programs. But ASI begins when computer applications can teach themselves to go beyond human capabilities, because the computer application can teach itself. This is the great and scary existential threat that we see in science fiction movies. When computers can begin to reason and then teach themselves, their capabilities will far exceed our own. The integration of artificial intelligence into the art world has led to a profound transformation in the field. From generative art algorithms that create original artworks to intelligent systems that collaborate with human creators, AI is reshaping how art is made, how it is perceived, as well as how it is valued and even defined. This evolution sparks both enthusiasm but also controversy. Its impact on the art world is one of both expansion but also disruption. Now, the work of art you are looking at right now, it's titled Edmond de Bellamy. It is an AI-generated portrait printed on canvas, which sold in 2018 at Christie's for an astonishing $432,500. Now, can any of you pronounce the name of the artist? Well, obviously, it's not a human name. It's an algorithm. This piece was generated by what is known as a generative adversarial network, or GAN, which is a sophisticated AI architecture where two neural networks compete. One type of AI, the generator, creates a bunch of images. And another AI application called the discriminator tries to distinguish these images from real art. And the generator's goal is to continually improve its output so that it can fool the discriminator, leading to increasingly convincing and often novel artistic creations. Now, the algorithm for this particular work of art used a data set of 15,000 portraits painted between the 14th and 20th centuries. That was the input that it had to work with. The name Bellamy is a pun based on Ian Goodfellow, the inventor of GAN, generative adversarial networks. In French, bel ami means good friend, which alludes to Goodfellow, the creator's name. Now, no surprise here, this work sparked an intense debate among artists, among critics, among philosophers. Who or what was the actual artist? When an AI generates a piece of art without direct, explicit human prompting for that specific output, can we say it is truly creative, like a human being? This pushes us to reconsider the very essence of what it means to create. Now, more recent works created by AI systems have also sold at auction for very high prices. But let's turn now to AI's most straightforward role, that of a tool. Just as the paintbrush revolutionized art or the printing press transformed literature, AI offers artists unprecedented capabilities. It can automate tedious tasks, generate variations, and inspire artists to new directions, allowing human creators to focus on conceptualization and refinement rather than the technical aspects of producing the art. Sugwin Chung, you see here, is an internationally renowned multidisciplinary artist and researcher whose work explores the dynamics of humans and systems. Chung is a former research fellow at MIT's Media Lab and a pioneer in the field of human-machine collaboration. In 2019, she was selected as the Woman of the Year in Monaco for achievement in the arts and sciences. Chung created numerous drawings using her favorite color, blue, which became the data set used to train DUG-2, which stands for Drawing Operations Unit Generation 2, her robotic computerized assistant. DUG-2 then can create works like this. Now notice the date of this work. This is considered the very early days of AI creativity. Mario Klingman is an artist who uses algorithms and artificial intelligence to create and investigate systems. Now, the two monitors you see, they're constantly morphing into new images. Like these. Here's another AI-assisted or generated work by Klingman. I'm not sure which verb to use, assisted or generated the art. Hence the question marks after Klingman's name. Who is the actual artist? Here's another work by Klingman, question mark, or by his AI application that he has used and programmed. Now, the use of AI does not necessarily negate human creativity, but often augments it. as Klingemann would argue. Artists like Refik Anadol employ AI to explore new aesthetic frontiers, generate immersive installations that would be absolutely impossible to create through traditional means. The artistic process becomes one of curation, coding, and collaboration, shifting the artist role from sole creator to designer of creative systems. And last year, Refik Anadol projected luminous images of coral onto a wall at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Refik Anadol also covered the exterior screen of The Sphere, which is a concert venue in Las Vegas, with animated, tumbling blue shapes. But he could program other designs into it as well. Now, in October, the Museum of Modern Art in New York acquired unsupervised machine hallucinations. That's a work by Anadol, in which a machine learning model was fed more than 138,000 images of individual works from MoMA's collection in order to generate new artworks. Now, recall in the first work we saw, Bellamy, de Bellamy, that was created by using 15,000 images that were input. This is from 138,000 images. Now, to give you a real sense of what the artwork is, I have included this link. So I'm going to have to, let's see if I can do this. Yeah, I can do it here. So take a look at what the actual artwork does. This lasts about 4 minutes. About 2 more minutes. Right, that's pretty good. Go back to sharing my screen here. So pretty spectacular stuff. And as you can see, there's would be no way to create something like this using traditional art methods. So AI art has forced a re-examination of what it means to be an artist. If a machine creates an artwork based on learned data, who owns the output? The programmer, the dataset creators, or the AI itself? AI also influences what kind of art is consumed. Recommendation algorithms on platforms like Instagram or Artsy or Spotify, they already use AI to tailor artistic experiences to individual tastes, increasing exposure for at least emerging artists, but also they place limits on what kinds of art we're exposed to. An AI generated band called the Velvet Sundown, which you see here, was created using AI and went viral on Spotify, amassing over 1 million streams. The band's promotional materials, including images and music, were entirely AI generated, and they even released 2 albums within a month. The four young men you are looking at do not exist in real life. Completed in 2019, Ada, spelled AIDA, as you can see there in the background, is described by its creator as the world's first ultra-realistic humanoid robot artist. It is named after Ada Lovelace, the 19th century English mathematician. The robot gained international attention when it was able to draw people with a pencil using her bionic hand and cameras in her eyes. Ada's eye cameras feed novel images into her algorithm, thereby creating new and unique works, far removed from human-generated datasets. This self-portrait was part of a show in London and is highly ironic, I think, since a robot has no self, right? Unless AI eventually can develop consciousness. So AI and creativity are asking many philosophical questions, the deepest kind of questions. Unlike many art creating AI applications, Ada's artistic process doesn't rely solely upon the data then which she has been trained on. Does this make her creative then in her own right? Does technology like Ada threaten the existence of human artists? Well, personally, I don't think so, because new technologies in the past offered the same sort of threat to artists, but they never could claim the unique role of human artists. In fact, history shows that new technology, in fact, liberates us from our creative shackles. Take the invention of photography in the 1800s. Some artists saw the camera as a great threat to an artist, and photographs as the mortal enemy of the art establishment. Now, it's true, landscape art took a bit of a hit for about 40 years or so. I mean, Ansel Adams could render the landscape much more realistically and cheaply than Albert Bierstadt or Thomas Moran. But instead of replacing painting, photography became a catalyst in the development of the experimental modern art movement of the 20th century, as artists moved away from realism that photography could produce towards abstraction, a shift that paved the way for the contemporary art of today. Photography itself began experimenting alongside painting, but not replacing it. So technology doesn't destroy the demand for human creativity, but is often a catalyst for greater human creativity. Now, allow me to be the collaborative artist using AI. Here is a work of art or image of art created by AI from prompts that I input. And here's what I inputted into the application. Quote, produce an image of a striking, complex abstract artwork with intricate patterns and vibrant colors that appear distinctly non-human in origin, showcasing AI's capacity for autonomous artistic creation. And this is what it would produce. Now notice the eyes at the top of this work. Do you see them? Do you see the eyes at the top? They remind me of the eyes of an owl, which happens to be my spirit animal. Did AI, searching through all of my emails and searches and that sort of thing on Google, did AI then know that and somehow put it into the artwork? Now, the title slide to this presentation was also one created by me and OpenAI. Now, I forgot the exact prompts that I used to produce this, but it had to do with the subject of this art brunch. And as you can see, it did a pretty nice job. I do recall that I asked it to generate something in the style of Van Gogh. Now, in case you're curious, this work is available in any size in a lovely glossy giclée print, framed or unframed. Contact me if you do have serious interest. All right. Imagine a digital artwork titled Farmer with Serpent in Style of Van Gogh. Imagine that is the prompt, okay? I'll say it again. Imagine an artwork titled Farmer with Serpent in Style of Van Gogh. Because that is the AI prompt I use to create this. This piece isn't just a copy of Van Gogh's style. There's a novel landscape there rendered with some typical Van Gogh-like brush strokes, vibrant, almost pulsating colors, and thick impasto textures here and there, characteristic of Van Gogh's work, albeit with a face and hat more realistic than Van Gogh's late style. I think they pulled from his Parisian style. The AI, trained on countless examples of Van Gogh's paintings, analyzing everything from his color palettes to his unique application of paint, has learned his stylistic essence and applied it to a completely new subject matter. The human artist, me, here acts as the curator, the prompt engineer, the visionary who guides the AI to produce a vision that aligns with my artistic intent. Now, here is another version offered by AI from my prompts. Now, I suggested an editorial change after looking at this work. What I did was I exchanged the style from Van Gogh to Caravaggio, and this is what it produced. The AI doesn't feel or intend in the human sense. It merely processes and generates based on complex algorithms and vast data sets. But in doing so, it extends the human artist's reach, enabling me or you to create works that would be impossible or incredibly time-consuming to achieve manually. Now, here is another version in the same Caravaggio style. Of the four, which one do you like the most? Well, by being able to create such work, AI democratizes access to art by lowering the barriers of entry. Text-to-image generators and AI-assisted design tools enable amateur creators like me to express myself visually without any formal training. And herein lies the controversy. No real technical skill is required of me, only my imagination and a little bit of knowledge of how to use the AI application. But my little exercise using OpenAI's Art Creator application was only a very crude beginning to what is possible. It could get a lot better. Consider the next Rembrandt, a groundbreaking project where a computer meticulously analyzed thousands of Rembrandt's paintings to create an original portrait of the Dutch master. The next Rembrandt is a 3D printed painting. It was created using deep learning algorithms and facial recognition techniques, examining not just the visual elements, but also the chemical composition of his paints, the texture of his brushstrokes, and the subtle nuances of his lighting. It then generated a new portrait, printed in 3D to precisely mimic the texture of oil paint, even replicating the direction of Rembrandt's brushwork. This could have been done in a Da Vinci style or a Michelangelo style. While the AI executed the painting, the project was fundamentally a profound human endeavor. The AI didn't spontaneously decide to paint, it was directed to human experts, given a specific challenge and provided with an immense data set. Yet the resulting artwork feels uncannily authentic and Rembrandt-like. A powerful testament to a deep collaboration where AI's unparalleled analytical power met human artistic understanding and vision. It's a sophisticated dialogue between human expertise and machine capability, resulting in an artwork that transcends what either could have achieved alone. See what time it is, because I'll skip the video. The bottom title there is a link to a video about how this was created, but you can Google it or just go to YouTube and do a search of this work, the next Rembrandt, and you'll find this video. So yet the resulting, let's see here. Okay. Well, as with any technological revolution, the use of AI in art carries ethical concerns. There is the real danger of economic disruption, which I mentioned at the start, the displacement of jobs. AI-generated content can threaten jobs in the artistic fields, such as illustration, design, and even stock photography. However, many argue that AI will only augment rather than replace human labor, requiring new skills in prompt design, algorithmic thinking, and aesthetic judgment. But I believe it's also true that a select few human artists will rise to the very, very top of the compensation food chain because of AI. There will be extremely rich human artists creating 100% human art. Some of the 100% human created art will be curated by AI algorithms, but determined to be excellent when compared to only AI created art. And when that happens, that type of human art will demand the highest prices. And some human art might be so designed as to be impossible for AI to reproduce and maintain its unique human status of innovation. What are other ramifications of AI on the art world? Well, what about curation? The New York and Los Angeles curator elite often are the gatekeepers, the final arbiters for high-end contemporary art, and ultimately then determine the value of such art. But art could become more democratized by AI curators, elevating talented artists producing far away from the traditional art centers. Say, artists who work in Morrison, Colorado, or Niwot, Colorado, as I know such artists are listening today. So AI has yet to completely displace artists, but AI is certainly challenging their roles. AI expands the toolkit of expression an artist can use. AI invites all of us to reimagine what art can be in the 21st century. Now, as we look to the future, I see the relationship between AI and human creativity as not one of competition, but of co-evolution. AI is not simply replicating human creativity. It is expanding its definition, challenging our assumptions about authorship and originality, but also opening up entirely new avenues for artistic expression and innovation. Human and AI collaboration. The most exciting and impactful creations of tomorrow may very well then be those born from the creatively expansive partnership of human imagination and artificial intelligence, pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible in art. Or at least that is my hope. What do you think?